What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Big Screen Energy. I'm your host, H, and with me is.
Ken K.
All right, folks. So, we are going to talk about a movie that I'm still processing a day later. Is God Is. It's coming out this Friday. And, Kaede, I'll let you go on and take the reins. Tell us a little bit about the movie.
You want me to be? Oh, wow. Okay. Well, now, I think it's important to note that this is actually based on a play, and the writer and director of the film, Aleshea Harris, she was the one who adapted it for the film now. And it basically revolves around two sisters who are twins. They're fraternal twins who believed their mother was dead after she was set on fire by their father. And when they are confronted with their mother, played by Vivica A, they are given a task to track down their father and kill him. Simple as that.
That's awesome. What's a little murder between sisters?
Yeah. And obviously not simple, because there is a lot of subtext, obviously, in this film. We're dealing with a lot of things as far as abuse in the Black community and in Black families and generational trauma and sort of like the religious underpinnings of that, because their mother wants them to refer to her as God.
Yeah.
And you think of the saying that I'm sure most people have only ever heard from the first Crow film, mother is the name for God on the lips and hearts of children. And I dare any of you all to actually know if there is origins to that saying beyond that film, because I've never bothered to look, and that's on me, so I feel bad about that. But that is how they refer to her, as God.
Yeah.
And this is a mission from God, and, feels almost kind of analogous to the Blues Brothers.
Right.
In a certain way. Because this film does have a lot of comedy to it.
Really dark comedy.
Really dark, very dark comedy, but comedy nonetheless, especially when they introduce Erica Alexander's character.
Yes, the one of the smallest roles, but
there are no small parts. There are only small actors.
No, you're right. But I was about to say hers was one of the most impactful, because just to kind of pick up what you're saying, it's a lot to unpack. There's a lot of generational trauma, and for each of the characters that you see, if you've been around in life long enough, you've seen something out of these characters. Now, just to give just the tiniest of overviews with Erica Alexander's character, hers is the throwing of herself into something and pining away for something that's never going to realize itself. And yeah, honestly, I can say I've seen people do that, and how she does it, and it's ooh. it is something. But to get into it, so you have Carrie Young and you have Mallori Johnson. They're supposed to be playing twins, and they're obviously not twins. But the biggest thing that I got of it, and we talked a little bit last night after we watched it, I started feeling more as this movie was moving along, was even though they were twins in the literal sense, it was more of a allegory to two warring sides of the personality. Because even when they're listed in the credits, Carrie Young is listed as Racine, the rough one.
The rough one.
And Mallori is listed as Anaya, the quiet one.
Yes.
And when you look at yin and yang in personalities, you could almost take those twins, fuse it into one person, and you have those warring sides. because like even as you watch, they had times when they communicated without directly communicating. They had certain looks and certain traits that you would be hard pressed to like even try to figure out like how do they know without really understanding personality and how those things can rage inside one person.
Yes.
So
No,
but
because I honestly did not think about that. And
yeah, that was
if you
like,
talk about it from an aspect of, in the literal sense, is this just one person that we're seeing?
right, because when you think about the outcome that happens later, there's kind of I don't want to say restitution. There's a result that for one of those personas is like, okay, like once things happen as they're supposed to happen, you know, I'm really trying not to spoil this, but you know, one of those put it this way, one of those personalities has a metamorphosis.
Yes.
You know, so it's like, is there a need? But like I said, there was a lot for me. You know, we talked about this last night. There was a lot for me to unpack watching that movie, because I feel like even as I thought about it, like, you know, we can easily say, yeah, this is the kind of trauma that we see in Black families, but also this is a lot of trauma that we see in a lot of families, especially with nowadays we're in a place where not a lot of secrets stay secret with the internet and community and, you know, social media. A lot of stuff comes out. So I felt like there are a lot of people that if you watch it and you can relate long enough to some of the shit that families go through, it really can hit hard on so many different levels, you know. But I do want to say this, because I don't want no one trying to drag me out for this. These things hit hardest with women, especially Black women, especially with okay, this man tried to murder their mama, and then he just left a trail of broken people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about that. There's a trail of broken people, not just the daughters, not just the mamas, you know, but there's people that, and he just has like, I don't give a damn mentality. So I'm gonna throw it back.
Very much so.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not surprising that Sterling K. Brown, who's playing their father, is credited as the monster.
Yeah.
And when you see sort of like how he moves, because they do a great job of you not even showing his face throughout most of the film.
Right.
And you just have these moments where it's the flashback of him burning Vivica A. Fox and the aftermath of that, where he's just standing in the doorway and not giving a damn at all.
A single damn.
And then when the twins encounter his lawyer, who got him off of that charge, and what he did to that lawyer,
played by Michael Williamson,
is just insane, because the whole framing of this character is for you to not be able to not have any opportunity to empathize with him, because all you're seeing of him is his actions
at all. And then to find out that, you know, there's more family out there as well, and how broken and twisted they were.
Yeah,
that was the crazy part, because we can't talk about that part without spoiling that either. But it's like, again, this is the whole generational thing, like how these things happen, and you know, people just leave a trail of destruction behind. And at some point, yeah, you have to answer for those actions. One way or another, you know, shit comes back around to get you. But
because the sins of the father definitely do get levied against the sons.
Yeah. But
And I think it's also important to mention that, given that inciting incident, both sisters have scars from from being burned, and Racine only has her arm burned, but Anaya is the one where it scarred her, the majority of her face.
Yeah.
And that comes into play a lot, because that's how the movie starts.
Right.
Where you get a sense for the dynamic between those two characters.
Right.
Because you see them as little kids, just sitting on a bench, and when you see how Racine reacts to someone saying mean things about Anaya, you get an immediate sense for the type of relationship they have.
You know what? Actually, I had a question though, and I'm going to stretch this a bit. I know what we saw, but I'm gonna stretch it a little bit. No, actually, it did answer itself, because she did say she did, because you know the thing of it is, I thought for the longest time, until they actually talked about it again, was what she did to that first kid. And for the longest time, until they actually talked about it again and some of the other stuff that they did, like, was that really Racine? But then, like I said, that question did eventually.
Oh yeah.
Because again, like I said, we're talking about dueling personalities, and like I said, you know, Racine was the reactive one, and Anaya was the rational. But you know, sometimes, you know, being rational, you might do some irrational actions.
No, absolutely.
Because you know, remember what the end result of everything that she was out there doing. You know, she was out there doing some stuff, and I'm like, oh, you know, so she's living a little bit more of a balanced life than Racine.
Yeah.
You know, but the thing that really attracted me the most to this movie was, you know, when I saw the trailer, I was like, this is a revenge tale. This is some old grindhouse type stuff. It delivered in spades. This movie really, really delivered. I definitely would go as far as to say that the performances were amazing. I honestly would not. Put this way, I would not be surprised, because I would be disappointed if this doesn't get some kind of buzz come awards time, because this is a heavy movie. This isn't something you can walk in on lightly on a Saturday afternoon. I'm watching As God Is. But go ahead. What you were going to say?
I don't even think about like award stuff anymore, because it becomes the same repetitive. It becomes the same repetitive complaints from the same people, and I'm just like, y'all realize y'all playing yourselves sometimes. Sometimes it's just important enough that this movie got made. Yeah. That's and the thing. You get to now say, can we have these conversations about the subject matter?
Right. Because I think that's what's really important, because I feel like people are going to get mad because, it's going to get award based off of Black trauma, But, you know, people got to go look and see who all was behind this, because, you know, Tessa Thompson produced this film. Aleshea Harris produced this film. There's a lot of Black voices surrounding this film. Janelle Monáe, who rarely ever does anything movie-wise, is in this film. I can only imagine what it took for them to get her in this. You know, and the crazy part with the runtime, you know, this movie is just a hair over 90 minutes, but it felt full. Not long, like, oh my God, it's long, but it felt full.
Yes, I agree.
Because I don't feel like there was anywhere near where there was like enough downtime or enough drag time where you feel like, all right, you know, run this up. Like, everything that happened for a reason. And then, you know, what I really liked about this film was the near timelessness, because you really don't know exactly what era it happened in. You didn't have like the modern accoutrements of a cell phone.
Yes.
The car that they was driving was like a late 70s, early 80s model car. It's like it was a mishmash of everything. So that's what I liked about it. The relatefulness of this movie is it could have happened at any given time.
Yeah.
That's what impressed
Exactly.
me so much about this movie. That's what impressed me so much about it. Even when I got home, I talked to Gina about it, and I told her the same things. Like, don't take this film lightly, because it's almost hard to think anybody could watch this film and not find a way to relate to what happened.
No, I absolutely agree.
So, what would your recommendation be if you had to tell somebody to watch this film?
I mean, I definitely think that is a film that you need to see, you need to support, especially in terms of the just high concentration of Black talent, Black female talent that is involved with it, because this is the thing we always talk about. And again, when we get frustrated about lack of representation in film and in television, where this is your opportunity to say, this is something that you have to see.
Yeah.
And this is something where if you see it, even if you don't end up having the same takeaways from it, you could at least tell someone else that might have the same takeaways. Because I remember the conversation you and I had after. And there were a lot of things that I could not relate to. But at the same time, I said, okay, you're telling me this, so I have to take that into consideration and think about other instances where I've had friends and family who have probably gone through something similar.
Yeah. It's almost like a 6 degrees of separation kind of a thing, because I feel like, if you yourself didn't directly go through it, somebody,
someone who did.
You have to. It's like you have to be living on an island, or you have to be totally isolated to not have at least a single way to relate to this. It's a heavy film. It's a lot to unpack.
Even when you look at the relationships between siblings, because especially me having 2 older sisters, a lot of the things that I saw in that film, I could definitely have takeaways just in terms of the relationship my 2 sisters have with each other.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, it's a film that, it's putting all of those things out there, as far as its thematic elements and as far as what it wants to say about, how family members treat each other, what they expect from each other, and what children expect from their parents.
Exactly.
And I think on that level, outside of the specifics, that is something that very many of us can relate to.
Yeah, because the last thing I want to talk about, and this may be the slightest of spoilers, is when Anaya gets an explanation about why things happened. The doubt and the want to see the good, knowing very well that the person that's explaining, giving her explanations, is not a good person. You still want to find a bright side. And kind of as I told you last night, I've been through that as well. I've seen that. Like, you hope for the tiniest part. Like, I'm gonna give you your chance until you show me otherwise. And then when she was shown otherwise, it was like, yeah, it's like, what more can you do at that point?
Exactly.
So, all right. So we are going to wrap this up. Like I said, definitely recommend it. Watch it. Talk about it. I think that's the biggest takeaway I have for anybody watching this movie. And I'm even going to go as far as to say, to the men out there, if you're going out there with your lady and your lady's telling you some heavy stuff after, be open and listen.
Yeah.
Be open and listen. Don't just hear, listen. And sometimes it's not even, well, what can I do? Because sometimes it's not anything
Nothing
you can do. Just have
Just
a nice cup, shut the fuck up and listen.
Exactly.
You know, but yeah, this is what this is. It comes highly recommended. So on that note, we are going to bounce. I'm going to kind of put out there, I hope we can get this done within the next week or so. Daredevil just wrapped up. The finale was off the chains. Kade is going to hopefully be able to jump into Punisher, and we're going to wait on Mike as well. And then all three of us are going to kind of come together. I think at that point, because it'll probably be next week, we may want to do some going to spoilers territories, running Daredevil and Punisher. So I think we can do that.
Sounds good to me.
All right, people. So check us out later. Kade, tell people where they can find you.
I'm on Blue Sky, Ken K 1980.
Yep.
That's the main place you're going to want to check for me.
All right. I'm Bishop Cosplay. Type it in whatever search engine, you'll find me. And on that note, we're out.
Peace.